I don't know where I am, I don't know where you take me, I don't know where you take me. I just follow your trail and I'm losing your mind and I'm losing your head. Let me escape from this unlove, cause I'm a prisoner. I just want to look my way and never back to you.
Falling apart when you're so far. You're the only thing that I can't lose. I can't lose. You filled in the cracks, didn't know I had. Melting my heart from the broken glass. Now in every part of me, it's you. And I don't want nobody else closer than you, closer than you. I can't let
And a very warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the night race of Formula One, the only race that's driven solely in the night time here. And we're at Singapore. We're here at Marina Bay. We are moments away from the start. Well, we've started qualifying, but we're moments away from seeing some cars out on track here for round 15 of Motive Racing's Formula One, round 16 even, of Motive Racing's Formula One World Championship. I've got round 15 in my head because obviously missed last week. I wasn't able to commentate for the guys on the channel last time out, but back again, and it's great to be back in the booth. I'm currently by myself at the moment. Emo guys will be here shortly. He says he's just having to run a few errands, and he will be on very, very soon indeed. So looking forward to having him in alongside me in the commentary box. But for now, I'm on my Larry as we're currently seeing the first car leaving the pit box. By the looks of it, from its position in the pit lane, it looks like it might be a Renault, but I can't actually see from behind. As we're just about to find out in a moment. Oh no, it was actually a Racing Point, RaKiMaJe there taken to the track, one of the first drivers, in fact the first driver to get out there. But it looks like the conditions actually a little bit damp out there. Or is that just... Yeah, they are. RaKiMaJe is running on the intermediate tyres, so it's been raining here in Singapore in the build up to this qualifying session, and that could play havoc with the drivers out there tonight. It's hard to see in the best of times with the way that the lights shine down on the night from the night sky, but it could be incredibly tricky now for these drivers tonight. But RaKiMaJe is out there, Leon Fernie, Green Pies, Evans, Kieran Argent, Unorthodox, Brown McClues and Penguin Duke, the first drivers to get out on the track. GDBO, Kieran Argent, Rednas, Gelram and Just Jose all still sat in the pits. Just Jose, obviously the new championship leader after last week. He's been reeling in Green Pies for quite a few rounds now, and last week he did actually take the lead in the title race. He's currently on a run of 3 wins in a row. He's looking to try and make it 4 wins in a row this time out. Just Jose obviously led the championship in the first couple of rounds, but since then it's really been Green Pies to lose. But now Just Jose with a 3-point lead in the championship, driving in that Alpha Tauri is tribute to Daniel Kvyat, the Torpedo, and he is currently one of the, I think it's about 6th or 7th out on track, but he's currently the man to beat in this title race. He's been on such a great run of form, so can he make it 4 wins in a row tonight? I know one man who will definitely be wanting to make sure that doesn't happen is this man here, Green Pies. I've become so used to saying this is the championship leader, but not anymore. Now he's got some work to do. He's got to really put his finger out this time around if he wants to reverse the trend that's currently been going in favour of Just Jose. He's actually teammates with Just Jose in another league, so we know that the two of them know each other very well, and it hopefully will be a friendly rivalry and a good battle to the end of the season, as we are coming into the closing stages of this season. We're into the final third with this round 16 of 23, so it's definitely getting into like the nitty-gritty part of the season, and this is the part where keeping your cool and staying composed will win your championships. In a way, it couldn't have happened at a worse time for Green Pies to lose that championship lead, but we'll see what he's made of, see if he's got the mettle to cope with the pressure as he's coming onto his first flying lap of the session. He's got his teammate Penguin Dude just behind him on the track, and then just behind him it's a Mercedes there coming through turn 1. I believe that's Leon Fernie. It is. Leon Fernie has got a Ferrari just behind him. I think that might be Evans. It is, yeah, Evans just behind Leon Fernie on the track right now. But this is going to be a real test. It could be a baptism of fire for Green Pies to see how he can respond to the pressure. Now he's on the back foot. Has he got what it takes to bring himself back into this championship fight? Obviously one of our regular commentators here at Motive has been doing a phenomenal job behind the booth. Maybe as with his commentator commitments, it's possibly stopped him from being able to put as much time and effort into practicing as he would like, but I know that he's been working hard in the build up to this one. In the commentator's chat earlier, he's saying that he's been really pushing hard and trying to get the best out of the car around this track. It's not an easy lap to nail though here at Singapore. It's pretty much impossible to get a perfect lap around this track. There's so many twists and turns, and you really just have to take what you can where you can. But Green Pies at the moment on his first flying lap. No times yet to come in yet at the moment. We've still yet to see anybody post a flying lap time. We know that it was RaKiMaJe that was first out onto the track. Let's see where he is. He's just coming in towards the final couple of corners now and out onto the start finish straight. RaKiMaJe will be the first man to set a lap, and he does a 156.6. So it's a little way off of what you would see in the dry. Let's see what the other drivers are able to do here as they're going to come in thick and fast now. We know that a lap time in the dry around this track is around a 1:35 as Leon Fernie loses the car and puts it into the barriers. Loses a little bit of his front wing there. Looks like that was part of the wishbone there that came off. Which is not ideal at all, as it's Brown McCluse goes ahead of Matahimovic, and Green Pies chomps them both up into the top spot there. But at this point, it looks like the times are quite a long way off the dry lap times. This track is difficult enough as it is, but then when you throw weather into the equation, it can make it almost impossible. Everybody at the moment on the green marked intermediate tyres though. No one's going for the blue wets at this point, so everybody feels that the track conditions are just about okay enough to put a set of the inters on. Obviously it doesn't shed anywhere near the same amount of water as the wet tyres do, as we see just Jose there going to the top of the leaderboard on 1:53. He's also on the intermediate tyres. Just Jose trying to make it 4 wins in a row tonight if he can, and he's currently going the right way about it if he is going to indeed achieve that. Just Jose did take the opening round of the season in Australia. He also won at Vietnam for the 3rd round victories at Monaco and Azerbaijan, followed up by a win at Austria, and then 3 in a row at Hungary, Belgium and Italy. Currently puts him on 8 wins for the season, and as I said, he's won the last 3, so he's really on a roll at the moment. Got Brown McCluse currently sat in 3rd at the moment in this session. Brown McCluse comes into this sat in 6th in the championship standings. He's had a couple of he's had 3 podiums so far this season. He had a 2nd place at Vietnam. He finished on the podium both in Britain at Silverstone and at Belgium as well. So he's been there or thereabouts in a few of the races so far this season. But I had a DNF at Paul Ricard, which cost him a few points and didn't turn up to the race at Bahrain. So that might be what's currently preventing him from climbing up the standings as much as he would like to be. See, Matahimovic has gone up into 2nd place on the qualifying leaderboard. He's currently 1.3 seconds off of just Jose at the top, so he's got still a little bit to do to go top of that leaderboard. Got Evans up in 3rd. He's done a good lap there, but still about 2 seconds off of just Jose. Unorthodox currently sat in 4th at the moment in the Renault. Dan the man usually has a plan. When he doesn't, it all goes down the pan. Can't believe I just did that. But oh my god, oh dear. But he's currently coming through the middle part of this lap. In fact, he's coming towards the final sector actually. Unorthodox has had a bit of a topsy-turvy season. He took a run of 3 podiums in a row back in the early stage of the season. He got podiums, got 3rd places at Netherlands, Spain and Monaco, but since then it's kind of been up and down. Picked up a P2 at Hungary, followed by a couple of DNFs in the last 2 races, so Dan has really got a lot of work to do. I'm sure he'll be wanting to bounce back from that and show that he's still one of the top drivers here in this Formula 1 league at Motive Racing. He'll be wanting to get another podium. If he can get on the podium tonight, it would be his 5th podium of the season. He comes into this 4th in the standings, but really it's best of the rest. You've got just Jose leading the championship on 254 from Green Prize on 251. Matahimovic though has been bringing himself slowly into this championship fight. He's one I've got to mention because Matt is one of our commentators in the touring cars. He does a great job on a Sunday night commentating alongside KLF in the touring car division, and he's currently up there in the championship, only 46 points off, so he's certainly in that fight. I would say that it's now a 3-way fight for that title race, so keep an eye on Matt, see how he gets on tonight, as just shows he's still on pole, but Unorthodox has got closer to that provisional pole time. He's now 8/10 off. Evans is currently out there at the moment, still sat in 4th. Green Pies hasn't improved on his lap time, as we see Green Pies' teammate Penguin Dude coming over the line to go 4th there. There's a Williams just crossing the line now. That's Kieran Argent. He goes, no, it's not Kieran Argent, sorry, I do apologise. It's not, it's DJ Phil. And DJ Phil sat in 11th at the moment, but Kieran Argent goes up into 6th in the Renault. He's, what, 2.3 seconds off of that time being set by just Jose. Leon Fernie, GDBO, DJ Phil, Rednas and Gelram all sat in the pits, so they've still got to get out there and show what they can do. Still just under halfway in this session, so Still a long time for these guys to get their teeth cut into some action here before we get done for the session and the checkered flag is out. As DJ Phil does his first lap of the session, and he goes into 9th. The Williams that you saw crossing the line before that wasn't DJ Phil, it was actually Gelram. And Gelram is just coming through into the 2nd sector right about now. GDBO onto a lap, still hasn't set a flying lap in this session. Redknapp still needs to do something. Leon Fernie looks like he's had quite a few invalidated attempts so far in this session. He needs to get one that's within the track limits and needs to do it properly. But still plenty of time to do that. But just Jose, your man to beat at the moment. 3 wins in a row, looking to make it 4. Missed his hat-trick of wins last week because we weren't actually on stream. Had to see to other obligations, unfortunately, but we are all back on and ready to rock and roll once again tonight. And Penguin Dude's doing a good job, currently sat in 4th. He's on a flying lap by the looks of it as well. Let's see if he can get a little bit closer to just Jose at the top of that leaderboard. Maybe get himself ahead of MeltedDazzer. He'll be wanting to halt the progress of MeltedDazzer, who's on a bit of a charge as MeltedDazzer tries to close up to just Jose and Green Pies at the top of that championship leaderboard. But Green Pie is currently, by his usual standards, struggling a little bit tonight. Maybe he's gone for a few adjustments, maybe made that setup slightly more durable or easier to drive in the wet conditions, but whatever it is, he's obviously making some changes. We've got Kieran Argent out there at the moment, currently running through the final sector of the lap. Let's see what he's able to do as he really cuts the corner there. Not quite sure what he's trying to achieve with that one. GDBO coming up towards the line. What's he going to be able to do? He's got a Williams just behind him, which is either Gelram or what DJ Phil will find out in a few moments time for you. As GDBO goes up into 4th, pushes Penguin Dude and Evans down. Nice up there from GDBO. What about these Williamses? You got Gelram. Oh no, it's DJ Phil that was in the Williams. He's come into the pit, so he's clearly not happy with something. He's backed out of that attempt that he was on a few moments ago. His teammate Gelram's coming through the middle sector. Unorthodox in the pits. Penguin Dude also in the pits. MeltedDazzer looks like he's doing something here. Is he doing a... Well, I was going to say a Nico Rosberg or a Michael Schumacher, but he's not... I mean... I'm not sure what's going on right now. Maybe he's had to stop and sort something out. I'm not sure. GDBO currently sat in 4th at the moment. He's a couple of seconds off the fastest time, as we've said, and he's coming through into what used to be a bit of a crazy corner, crazy chicane. It's now just a simple left-hander. They got rid of those silly little curbs that they had way back when. If any of you guys remember, they must have got rid of those about 10 years ago now, but they used to be the most ridiculous curbs coming through that corner. It was like they're about 10 foot high. They were higher than the actual suspensions of the car, and you literally if you went over those, your race was over. That was it. Good night, see you later. But it looks like just Jose's gone even quicker here. Look at that, he's into the low 1:52s. That is incredible from just Jose. He is really on it at the moment. He looks like he's 100% the fastest driver in the F1 league at this point. Green Pies really needs to put his finger out. He's currently down in 9th place. He's 4 seconds off of just Jose. The wet conditions seem to just be just Jose's forte. I mean, he's quick enough in the dry as it is, but he's handling these conditions brilliantly. And the track is drying out a little bit now, so I wonder if anybody is going to take the plunge and go for a switch to the dry tyres in the final couple of minutes of the session. They need to be doing it now because it's a long lap around Singapore. You really need to be in the pits with 2.5 minutes to go. You need to be leaving your garage with 2:15 on the clock, otherwise you're just not going to get it done. So pretty much it's a now or never type scenario for anybody that wants to put the dry tyres on. And it looks like Dan has done it. Unorthodox is currently out there on a out lap. He's put the soft tyres on. MeltedDazzer is coming in for a set of the softer now by the looks of it. He needs to get in and out pretty sharpish though. He hasn't got much time to do it. Gelram Looks like he's still on the inters. GDPO is coming in, presumably for a change to the softs. Are these guys going to get it done in time, though? Penguin Dude's out there on the softs. It looks like Kieran Argent's also done the same. Loads and loads of drivers are out there on the soft tyres at the end of this session. Are they going to make it work? DJ Phil's on an outlap on the inters. That's not going to work, DJ Phil. Rednass looks like he is on the softs. So we've got half the field on the softs. Green Pies is coming in now as well, but has he left it too late? No, he's not. He's on his way out. He's on his way out, so let's just pull up the graphic here and see who's on the soft tyres. This is going to be an absolutely thrilling end to the qualifying session. We've been looking for a bit of drama in the qualifying sessions here at Motive for the F1 League, and my God, we've got it here at Silverstone. We have got quite a dramatic end to this one, because now everyone's putting the dry tyres on, and it's just Jose's. Has he got out in time? Just Jose's in the pits. The provisional pole sitter, he's been top of that leaderboard pretty much since the get-go in this session. And is he going to miss out on pole by a simple little mistake such as not having the right tyres on? I think he is, you know. He's pulling into the garage. So if we see the track drying out substantially at the end of this session, just Jose could have really shot himself in the foot. He did that below 1 minute 52 on the intermediate tyres on a drying track, which was a stonker at the time, but this track is ever evolving, it's improving constantly. Just Jose's just got out there on the track, but it's not going to be enough. There's only 1 minute and 30 left on the clock, and he's just leaving the pit lane now. I think just Jose has lost his chance to taking pole. If this track improves enough, then he's lost pole. I can't see these drivers not improving by the amount that they needed, because the track is almost bone dry. We're getting to that point where it's pretty much, you know, a dry track. So oh my goodness me, just Jose may have lost pole position here if the well, he's not going to get around in time, so he's definitely lost a chance to take pole, I reckon. He's currently top of the leaderboard, but that will change as these drivers on the soft get their laps in. Let's see who's currently furthest around on their flying lap. I think Unorthodox is quite a long way around at the moment. Penguin Dude also, but I think Dan is going to be the first driver to cross the line of the soft runners. As we see Dan go to the top of the leaderboard there by 15 seconds. He goes absolutely brilliant stuff there. It pushes just Jose down, and just Jose is going to have lost out enormously by not changing to the soft tyres now. Let's see what comes in. What sort of lap times are we going to see at the end of this session? MeltedDazzer coming into the final couple of corners now. What can he do in that racing point as he absolutely wrings the neck of it out of the last corner now? He crosses over, and that was an outlap. It must have been an outlap there for him. What about Penguin Dude? What can Penguin Dude do? As he goes second, Green Pies, his teammate, gets up towards the sharp end. Green Pies is going to come around in a few corners time now. He's on the mediums, this Green Pies. He obviously wants to go long into the first stint. He's got much more confidence in the dry conditions than he has in the wet. His championship rival, just Jose, is going to be starting down the pack, having done his qualifying lap on the inters. He's not going to get around in time. There's no way. The clock's already done. That's it for just Jose. He's now going to be starting towards the back of the field. He wants to get a lap in on the mediums, doesn't he, in order to be able to start on them. Well, actually he will be able to start on them regardless. That's completely out of the question. But Leon Fernie goes up into third there. What about Matt? Matt's coming through the middle sector now. We've got GDPO currently coming through the first sector, or just into the middle sector right now. You've got Evans coming through the final couple of corners. What can he do? Can he get himself maybe onto the front couple of rows at the sharp end, maybe in the Ferrari out the last corner, and he goes P2 there. Evans up onto the front row of the grid. Great stuff there from him, but there's so many drivers stood out there on lap times, and they're going to come in thick and fast now. Unorthodox has improved his pole time up to a 1:36. Green Pies misses out by half a tenth. Oh, so close there, almost going up ahead of Unorthodox, but he's lost out by the narrowest of margins. But don't count out any of these guys, because the track is still improving. It's constantly drying out, and we're going to see faster lap times right the way to the end of this. Penguin Dude's made a mistake, and he's out. He's bailed out of that lap time now. Kieran Argent's still out there. MeltedDazzer crosses the line, and he goes P4. Second row for MeltedDazzer. Misses out on pole by half a second. It's very close at the front between these drivers. Rednass is currently out there on the soft. What can he do? He's coming through towards the final sector of the lap now. It's only Rednass, Penguin Dude and Kieran Argent out there, but Penguin Dude's bailed out on his lap time, so it's really Kieran Argent. No, it's really Penguin. No, Penguin Dude's out of it. Kieran Argent's out of it. I think it's all down to Rednass now. What can he do? GDBO doesn't improve. what is RoadRacing able to do is he's coming into the final corner and out onto the start-finish straight. He crosses the line. He goes 9th with that one, does RoadRacing. But one man I've really got to take my hat off to is Green Pies, because he did that fastest qualifying lap there on the medium tyres, and he was only less than a tenth of a second off of Unorthodox. So you've really got to give Green Pies a bit of a pat on the back there. He's pulled it out of the bag, and I'm not quite sure what the rules are with a wet qualifying session. I believe if it dries out at the end, then you do have to start on the tyres you qualified on. I'm not 100% on that. If anyone is able to clarify that one, it would be a massive help. But I do think they still have to start on the tyres they qualify on, so it will be advantageous to Green Pies because he'll be starting on the mediums, which will mean he can go longer into the first stint. But that can all change very quickly once you get going, nonetheless. As my hiccups are starting to come back, I'm not breathing as much as I probably. Oh no! Don't tell me there's AIs. Don't tell me there's AIs in this. Are you kidding me? I said for no AIs. What? There better not be AIs, I swear to God. So that is that then for the qualifying session, ladies and gentlemen. Unorthodox on pole by less than a tenth of a second to Green Pies, but Green Pies doing it on the medium tyres. He'll be able to go along into the first stint for the race. Brown McCluse and Matahimovic will be lining up on the second row, with Evans and Penguin Dude behind them. Leon Fernie and Kieran Argent in 7th and 8th. RoadRacing and Just Jose had pole position in the wet conditions. He had it all sorted, but he came into the pits too late. Didn't make that tyre change when he needed to. He'll be lining up in 10th place. Gel Ram, GDBO and DJ Phil in right now, rounding out the back of the field. Just Jose's got a lot of work to do. Green Pies will be looking or sitting pretty at the top, and Matahimovic, the other title contender, lining up in P4. And a very warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Motive Racing channel. Currently just on the formation lap here, getting ready to go green for round 16 of Motive Racing's Formula 1 season. We're here at Singapore tonight, the Marina Bay under the lights, and it should be an absolutely fascinating event indeed. It's going to be interesting. You've got Unorthodox lining up on pole position here. I believe his first pole of the season. Did an absolutely phenomenal job in the qualifying session. Changeable conditions we had in qualifying. We had a wet start, but then the track dried out sufficiently at the end that we actually had some dry running, and Unorthodox picked the right time to switch to those soft tyres. Green Pies lining up alongside him on the front row. I think Green Pies gets to start on the mediums. Let's have a quick look and see. Yeah, he does, because he qualified on the mediums, therefore he gets to start on the mediums as well. He will be able to go long into this first stint, so that will definitely be beneficial for Green Pies. Brown McClue's lining up behind these with MeltedDazzer. Evans there in 5th. Penguin Noodle lining up in 6th place. We got Kieran Argent just behind Leon Fernie. Leon Fernie gets disqualified from the formation. That Rednas, just Jose down in 10th place for the start of this race. The championship leader has got it all to do. Joram and GDBO and DJ Phil lining up at the back as the drivers are pulling up onto their grid starts now. We are moments away from the start of the Singapore Grand Prix here at Motor Racing, as all the drivers just line up on the grid behind the pole sitter Unorthodox. And in a few moments time we will be ready to roll. Here we go. Engine revs go deadly silent as we're about to go racing here at Singapore. And it is lights out in a moment. What is going on here? What is going on here? Okay, it looks like we're racing, we're underway, and it looks like Unorthodox gets a reasonably good start there off the line. In fact, no, he's been jumped by Green Pies into turn 1. Green Pies has got an absolutely brilliant start as Penguin Dude. Looks like he gets a little bit out of shape there coming through the first couple of corners. He's dropped back down to last place as we see MeltedDazzer trying to hold on ahead of Brown McClue's. In fact, I think he's done quite well there. Evans in 5th with Kieran Argent and Leon Fernie. Just Jose has already got himself into 8th place here, gained a couple of places off the line. GDBO, Joram, Rednas, DJ Phil and Penguin Dude with that awful start down to last place, but Green Pies already trying to pull away from Unorthodox here, and MeltedDazzer has managed to hold on ahead of Brown McClue's as we see Kieran Argent getting ahead of Leon Fernie, but side by side. Kieran Argent goes late on the brakes and pushes Leon Fernie out a little bit wide, and that's going to allow just Jose to sneak up the inside of both of them and pick up the pieces, and now Leon Fernie's got to try and fend off GDBO. As Leon Fernie runs straight into just Jose loses the car, comes together with Kieran Argent down to the back of the pack. We've got a safety car already here in the early stages of the race, but Kieran Argent and just Jose coming together, that's going to really hurt just Jose in the championship fight. He gained 2 positions there just beforehand, but he gone from 10th to 6th in the opening lap, and he's just been crashed out of the race. Kieran Argent down to 12th, and we've now got a full safety car here. So Green Pies, after getting the lead ahead of Unorthodox at the start, it's going to be leading this pack around. Dan in 2nd place there. You've got MeltedDazzer in 3rd, made a good start there. We've got Brown McClue's in 4th, Evans P5, GDBO 6th, Leon Fernie 7th, Joram 8th, DJ Phil in 9th place. We've got Rednas in 10th, Penguin Dude gaining a couple of positions there with just Jose and Kieran Argent coming together back up into 11th place, but that's not the opening lap that we would have wanted to see there. 2 drivers crashing out, one of them with terminal damage, and it looks like we've got a couple of drivers coming into the pits here. Dan's coming in very early on, making the most of this safety car period. I would presume he's banking on being able to make one less pit stop even in the race, as he does come into the pit box now. But lots of drivers going around. You've got Leon Fernie just coming up into the pit box right at the moment. Rednas following him in. There's Penguin Dude. But not the ideal opening to this race that we would have wanted to see. It's always a bit of drama at Singapore. You never know what it's going to come in the shape of. But Green Pies will be pretty happy with that. He started on the mediums. He can go a long way into this first stint. If he's brave, he could probably put a set of hards on and try and go the full distance, but we know tyre wear is actually pretty brutal around this track, and also the average speed around this track's pretty low. So what that means is that you've got lots and lots of turns, you've got a slow track, but there's still a lot of laps. So it kind of feels like you're doing a lot more distance, when in actual fact you're just driving slower. But it really does kill the tyres with the amount of turns and the amount of laps that you have around this track. So it's just about being conservative and not as in politically, by the way, I mean as in on the tyres, but it's just about looking after what you got underneath you and getting it to the end of the race. Reliability also can be key, but on the F1 game shouldn't be a problem. Generally isn't on in the virtual world, unless you have like pit stop errors on or something. But no, generally it doesn't. It's not an issue. But Green Pies is currently leading us around for this little parade that we got under safety car. But yeah, I suppose it wouldn't be a motive racing F1 race without a safety car at some point. What a dad joke, Andy says to OG. Which bit are you referring to, G? I didn't even clock that I said anything remotely funny. We got Christopher Face saying, I'm going to head out. Good luck to Green Pies. Rakim getting behind Joram and Rednas. Just Jose says he was 3 seconds off the limit, couldn't set a time, that was in quali. Is it a restart if there are bots? Well, there weren't bots in the end, so no issues there. Matahimovic isn't happy with the conduct of Green Pies, the leader under this safety car. He's saying that Green Pies is apparently mucking about a little bit. Apparently he's playing around under safety car, keeps playing chicken with the rest of the pack. A little bit of controversy going on here, as there always is, between these two. There's a little bit of a... There's always a few words exchanged between Green Pies and Matahimovic. Obviously they are two of the three who are very much in contention for this title race. But I probably won't say what someone... these two need to keep themselves composed and not do anything rash or reckless throughout the course of this race, that is for sure. So we're currently still without my co-commentator Emo guy. He is meant to be on his way at some point. We're not exactly sure when, where or how, but yeah, I think he is. I do hope to be joined in the commentary box at some point, because I do find that when I'm sat here on my own just rambling on and on and on and on, and I can get it's tedious for me, so I can't imagine how annoying it must be for you guys at home. I just hope that I'm keeping you entertained, and we'll have some racing underway in a few moments time, so you don't have to listen to the ramblings and ravings of a madman over the commentary, but you can just obviously appreciate some on-track action as well. It's always nice to have some cars going for moves and lots of position changes for sure. But for now, you've just got the interior thoughts of Andy to accompany you with this Formula 1 action at the moment, as we see Green Pies warming up the tyres a little bit. And this is what Matahimovic was alluding to. He was saying that Green Pies keep stopping and starting, and he's obviously trying to get those tyres nice and warm. To be fair, he's getting pretty close to the safety car now. I suppose if you're behind Green Pies or you're further back down the pack, you've kind of just got to use the safety car as a reference point. But I see what Matahimovic means there, because you see there, look at that, Green Pies is leaving quite a big gap between himself and the safety car, and the safety car's coming in, so that's now understandable. But yeah, I can see what Matahimovic means, and to be fair, I think Green Pies might be picking himself up a bit of a penalty if he carries on doing that over the course of this season. He's been warned once, he's going to be warned again, and then after that the penalties will start coming in thick and fast. But he's a good lad, is Green Pies, very quick driver, does a great job on our commentaries, and he's obviously trying to get every little bit of advantage he can. Look at that, that is outrageous, son, that is outrageous. Oh my god. But here we go then, we are about to go racing once again at Singapore. He's put his foot to the floor, Green Pies has got it going, and we're underway here at the start of lap 4. Green Pies already getting the jump here, already miles ahead as we come into turn 1. You've got Matahimovic there second. It looks like we've got a move here. I think GDBL was trying to come in with the inside of Evans there anyway, and can't get it done. Dunalthop's right behind these guys in 6th. Got DJ Phil, Leon Fernie, Penguin Dude in 9th, Rednas trying to fend off Joram there for 10th place even, and Kieran Arch on the back of the field. Oh no, there's Rednas there. Sorry, not Red. Yeah, Rednas there gets a little bit loose. He's down to 12th place, gets a little bit of a wiggle coming through turn 3. He's got away with it, kept it out of the wall for the time being, but Green Pies leads the field ahead of Matahimovic, and we've got the Ferrari trying to defend from the Renault here. It looks like Northrop has made the move on the inside of Evans. He's up into 5th place there. Great stuff from Dan, and we can see there was a little bit of bodywork coming off of Mercedes there, as it's just been passed by the Williams of DJ Phil. So DJ Phil up ahead of Leon Fernie. Now Penguin Dude's going to attack on Leon Fernie as well, but Leon Fernie manages to hold it around the outside. The McLaren and the Mercedes still side by side as they come up towards this tight left-hander. Is he going to be able to do it? Oh, a bit of contact there. Penguin Dude pushes Leon Fernie out wide. That was a little bit cheeky there, but in the end I think Leon Fernie does hold on to the position. Good racing from Leon Fernie to hold on. He's now right back up the chuff of DJ Phil in this fight for 7th place. As we look back to the front, Green Pies has now put a 2-second gap here over Matahimovic. You got Brown Recluse just behind these guys. Oh, it's Dan's round. Dan's gone wide there into the runoff, and he's down. Well, he's way down the pack now. He's down into 9th place. disaster there for Unorthodox as he took to the escape road to try and minimise the damage, kept it out of the wall, did a good job there, recovery, good recovery there from Dan, gotta say. He's down to 10th, it looks like he's been passed by Joram. He took Kieran Argent, his teammate, right up his inside, and Kieran Argent is going to go for that move up into 10th place. He's now got Rednass right behind him here, as we see a bit of bodywork there, coming off of Kieran Argent's car, I think. So Kieran Argent tagging the ball a little bit too much. Green Pies though leads the field ahead of MeltedDazzer, and GDBO's having a little look to the inside of Brown McClue's into turn 1. Can't get it done. Evans running a couple of seconds behind these guys on the road. It looks like we've got Penguin Dude lining up a move here on DJ Phil into turn 1, but he's had to back out of that one. He's not quite in a position to do it. Joram just ahead of Leon Fernie. Kieran Argent here really pushing the back of Leon Fernie as Leon Fernie gets a little bit onto the curb, and Kieran Argent swoops around the outside and up into 9th place. Brilliantly done there from Kieran Argent, as Rednass is now on the back of Leon Fernie as well, and Unorthodox has come in for another pit stop, presumably for damage after taking to that escape road. He must have gone into the wall as well, and he's way back down the pack. But Dan needs a safety car to bring himself back into this fight. We've got MeltedDazzer in second behind Green Pies. Brown McClue still trying to hold off GDBO in this fight for 3rd place. Currently the Haas keeping that Alpha Tauri at bay. A bit of a gap back to Evans there, sat in 5th. DJ Phil's dropped way off the back of Evans. Evans is kind of running in no man's land at the moment as Joram gets a bit of a compromised run. He's been passed by Penguin Dude. Penguin Dude's up into 7th place. Joram's now got Kieran Argent and Leon Fernie not too far behind him in this fight for 8th place. But there's so much drama going on right now here at Singapore, and we're seeing so many cars getting involved in little tussles. Green Pies completely oblivious to any of that. He's got a nice little lead at the front. He's got 4 seconds over MeltedDazzer, and looks like he's got this one pretty much under control at the moment. Started on those medium tyres. It's clearly worked a treat. He can go a long way into this race, but Matt's changed onto the mediums. Brown McClue's still running on the softs that he started on, as is the GDBO is running on the mediums. So actually Brown McClue's the only runner of the top drivers on the soft tyres that he started on. So that we might see that start to unravel in a couple of laps time, with the tyre wear being as quick as it is. And we see there MeltedDazzer coming into the pits, so he's clearly making a change there. He's on the soft, sorry. So MeltedDazzer will be looking to go a little bit longer into this next stint of his. It's surely got to be a 2-stopper though at Singapore, because the tyre wear around this track is so colossal. I just can't see how anybody's going to be able to do a 1-stopper. I don't think even the hard tyres are going to go 20 laps around this track. I think you could probably get maybe 16, maybe 18 if you really are like gentle as anything on them. But Green Pies on those mediums got a 6-second lead at the front over Brown McClue's, continuing to put out the gap, and it looks like Brown McClue's has really got his hands full now. The Alpha Tauri of GDBO is looking all over him. Obviously GDBO's teammate just Jose out of this race early on, the championship leader. He probably won't be the championship leader after tonight though, with Green Pies currently leading the race. But GDBO right behind Brown McClue's at the moment. Bit of a gap back to Penguin Dude, who's still got Gelram very much looming in his mirrors. These two fighting it out, the McLaren and the Williams, but Gelram still not able to get up into that 4th place just at this point. Brown McClue still holding on here ahead of GDBO as well. Green Pies' lead now 6.5 seconds, continuing to build out that gap. DJ Phil has got Rednass very much in hot pursuit here. These guys fighting over 7th place. Looks like Evans has picked up a position, and MeltedDazzer is into the wall. He's lost a little bit of his front wing there. Oh no, that's gutting there for Matt. Obviously he's already brought into the pits. He's on those mediums. Maybe he's been caught out there by cold medium tyres. They can be tricky when they're still yet to warm up, and he's way down now. He's 7.5 seconds off of Leon Fernie. He's got a lot of work to do, and Dan's up his inside. I don't know if I'm stopping to 11th place. So it's all gone wrong for MeltedDazzer. The damage on that front wing seemed like it might be a problem. Oh, Leon Fernie's out of the race, and that has come at just the right time for MeltedDazzer, because he can now come in and get that changed, and it's not going to affect him too much. We got a safety car once again, and Leon Fernie, that's his race done. And we're down to 11 runners here at Singapore. This is turning into a bit of a crash fest like we saw at Spa a couple of weeks ago. We've lost 2 drivers and various other drivers losing their front wings, and are still lucky to be in this race. There are a couple of them out there right now that are lucky to still be on the track. But Green Pies has got to slow it down once again. You see his AI is taken over. GDBO in second. Penguin Dude currently running in 3rd place right now, with Joram 4th. Kieran Argent in 5th place. Rednass in 6th. Brown McClue's in 7th. Evans in 8th. DJ Phil coming into the pits. He might lose out to Dan and MeltedDazzer here. So Dan will be in 9th. DJ Phil 10th. MeltedDazzer coming into the pits to change that front wing. And will re-emerge in the 11th place that he currently resides in at the moment. So that is your current classification here for the race. It's a bit of a stop-starter here at Singapore. Second safety car period of the night. We've seen lots of drivers losing their front wings. We've seen carnage pretty much, but can you expect anything different from this track? It always throws up a few thrills and spills, and we're currently in the middle of that right now. My co-commentator Emo Guy did say to me on the Discord private messages that he would be here by 7:15 at the latest. At the moment it's 7:27 and still no signs. So Ian, if you're out there, let me know that you're safe, let me know that you're well. But anyway, I just love dishing out nice good quality banter here on the commentary box. But it's a bit of a wrong running joke, to be fair. But anyway, these are currently the drivers on the safety car period, and yeah, lap 7 of 31, just under a quarter of the way into the race. Still a long way left to go. Lots of thrills and spills, I'm sure, to come. But we got a few comments coming in. Let's read some comments here in the YouTube comments section. Kieran Argent was saying, I thought we can't stop start under safety car. Yeah, indeed, that is true. Rakim there saying, you are doing a great job, Murray would have been proud. Thank you very much, Rakim, it's very sweet of you. Special Forces Group, others on a Chocolate Man saying, you're good, doing good, man, keep it up, thank you, thank you. Just Jose saying, we need a race restart, am I right? I just can't with this. Well, it's very unfortunate. Just Jose, we saw the little contact you had with Kieran Argent. It dropped you out of the race. It dropped him back down to the foot of the pack. Kieran Argent's actually made his way back up into 5th place. I know that's not what you wanted to hear there, mate. I do apologise. Shouldn't have said that. But JR in the comments said, how's Green Pie is a second a lap faster than everyone. To be fair, JR, the gap wasn't actually that big in qualifying, but he was on the medium tyres. I think if just Jose was here, it would be a lot closer, but just Jose crashed out on the opening lap, and unfortunately will be taking no further part in this, so we'll never know just how quick just Jose would have been in this race. Matimovic there saying 2 times my wheel has disconnected. That would explain the loss of front wing that we saw on the stream. He says all day it's been fine, and when it counts it's messing up. Yeah, I know that feeling when everything goes right in practice. You think it's all going to go well, and then as soon as you get to the moment of truth, it all goes to the toilet. We got Christopher Fay in the comments saying, I'm back. Green Pies is on pole. I mean, yeah, he's leading the race. He's not on pole, Christopher, but he is leading the race. You're right. I mean, technically it's the same thing. Oh yeah, yeah. He's just corrected it. He says he's put correction in first. But yeah, he's currently doing a great job at the moment. His Green Pies qualified in 2nd on the front row alongside Dan in the changeable conditions, and he's got himself up into P1 in the early stages. Obviously got the jump off the line, has led the race since. He hasn't changed tyres yet. He's still running on the mediums that he started on. I'm surprised that he hasn't pulled the trigger and gone for a change there, but he is sticking with it. The only G saying, but yeah, unfortunate. Yeah, it's very unfortunate there for Matimovic there with his steering wheel. JR saying he must be optimising the electrical energy. I think so, yeah, he's definitely making use of that ERS. But currently still under safety car at the moment. We're not quite underway just at the moment. Hopefully we'll be in a few moments time. Currently still without Emo Guy. The time is now 30 minutes past 7. So hopefully I will be joined in the commentary box shortly. Are we going to be going this lap then? I think we are, you know. I think this is it. I think we are green once again. Are we? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We are racing, and Green Fires comes over the line to start lap 9 of the race. And it looks like we have Premier Dude having a little look to the inside of GDBO. Can't get it done. Kieran Argent defending from Brown Recluse. Brown Recluse going to try and go on the outside here of the first 3 corners, and we see, oh, Dan's in the wall. Dan's crashed, he's lost his front wing, and he's had to spin the car back around again. Dan is having a horror show of a race. After putting it on pole position in the qualifying session, it has gone all downhill for unorthodox, and he's now down into 10th place. It's all gone horribly wrong for Dan, but Green Pies leads the field ahead of GDBO, Penguin Dude, Joram. We see there Kieran Argent having a little look to the inside of Brown McCluse, can't get it done. Kieran Argent, Evans, Matahimovic down in 8th place. We've got DJ Phil running in 9th, and Dan and Rednas at the back. Rednas just coming out of the pits, timed that horribly for his pit stop there, just the safety car period was ending. And we got a comment coming in from Rakim saying, "Is this a good moment to announce the next season and the plans?" Definitely, mate. I'll announce it under the next safety car, which we will probably have in a lap or two's time. But Green Pies leading the field by just under 2 seconds at the moment over GDBO. Penguin Dude there sat in 3rd. Gelram, Brown McCluse, Kieran Argent. These guys all pretty close to one another. Kieran Argent is trying to defend from Evans and Matimovic. Matimovic trying to make moves, but it looks like Evans having a look to the inside here of Kieran Argent. Kieran Argent tries to close the door, but he's not going to be able to. Evans is still there on the outside, up the run towards this very tricky section of the track, and I think Evans has got it done, you know. And now Matahimovic is putting himself in there as well. Dives up the inside of Kieran Argent. Matahimovic now looking to the inside of Evans. Is he going to go late on the brakes? He's not. He tucks in behind, thinks better of that one, but Matahimovic was looking to gain 2 places in a couple of corners there. In the end, had to settle with 1 position gain, but he's now right on the back of that Ferrari as Evans gets a little bit loose, and Matt's up into the position there. Seizes on that. Did not need a second invitation, and he's up into 6th place there. Matahimovic on an absolute charge after a race that has been a little bit topsy-turvy, as we see a 4-man battle for 2nd place. I think Joram's up the inside of Penguin Dude up into 3rd. Can Brown McCluse feast on that and take advantage? No, he can't. He has to tuck in behind. GDBO currently sat in that P2 with Joram, Penguin Dude and Brown McCluse very close behind him, and they got Matimovic closing on them as well. So this is going to be an exceptional battle here for 2nd. Green Pies at the front just checking out, driving off into the distance ahead of these guys. GDBO though with Joram, Penguin Dude, Brown McCluse, Matahimovic reeling these guys in. Evans looks like he might get dragged along with him as well. Kieran Argent dropping off those currently in 8th place. We've got DJ Phil in 9th. Dan's in the pits again for a front wing change. We saw him have that crash coming through the first couple of corners, dropped him back down out to 10th place, and Rednas still running in 11th at this point. But Green Pies with a 3.5 second gap at the moment over GDBO. Joram though continuing to put the pressure here on GDBO. He's not lying down. He's not taking this one without a fight. We've got Penguin Dude and Brown McCluse dropping off of these a little bit. Brown McCluse still unable to get ahead of Penguin Dude up into that 4th place as Penguin Dude almost goes into the wall there. Keeps it out of the barriers just about. Joram has got a great run here on GDBO though, but he's not quite in striking distance. He's not going to go for a bit of a lunge up the inside. It would have been a damn there on the brakes from there. He's going to tuck in behind him as we've got a yellow flag coming through sector 1. Not quite sure what that's in aid of. Might be Rednas there, but Green Pies extending his lead over GDBO to 3.6 seconds, and Joram still right all over the back of GDBO at the moment. Also, we've got a battle going on behind these, because we've also got Penguin Dude with Brown McCluse and Matahimovic very, very close. Brown McCluse gets a little bit of a compromise run out of the last corner, but Matahimovic had to get off the throttle a little bit there, which compromised his run out of the last corner. He's still going to go up for the move up the inside of him, and I think he's got that one done. Brown McCluse losing the position there. Matahimovic up into 5th place, onto the back of Penguin Dude now. Joram still just behind GDBO in this fight for 2nd place. But Matahimovic doing brilliantly there to get himself up into P5, and he's still got Penguin Dude very much in his sights. Matt's going to be wanting to get himself onto the podium, that is for sure, and minimise the points lost to Green Pies, as he's got the run now on Penguin Dude. Is he going to go for a late move up the inside? I think he's got that one done, you know. He has. Up into 4th place, got his elbows out a little bit there, was a bit aggressive, which has allowed Brown McCluse to following him through. And Matt was a little bit aggressive, but I would say just about, you know, hard but fair. I mean, rubbing's racing, as they say. So Penguin Dude losing out a couple of positions in the process, and he's got Evans just behind him in this fight for what is now 6th place. So Penguin Dude losing out quite a bit there, and Matahimovic is now going to try and set his sights on Joram and GDBO for those podium spots. But Brown McCluse not going down lightly in this one, still sticking behind him and still giving him a bit of a fight. As we've got Joram now looking all over the back of GDBO, but GDBO hanging on for the time being. Beside Penguin Dude's chopped off a little bit off of Matahimovic and Brown McCluse. Evans still giving Penguin Dude a bit of a headache. All these drivers running on the medium tyres, so they can all go quite a long way into this stint. And with the number of safety cars that we've had, they're probably all conserving their tyres. As we can see there, Joram going for a move on Matt. As he, Matt's trying to go on the outside here of turn 3. I think Matt Timovic has got it done. He's up onto the podium spots. Great stuff there from Matt. Matt looked like he had it done coming into turn 1. Joram tried to come back at him, but Matt's pulled it off and up into 3rd place. And Brown Recluse there tagging the wall massively as he comes out onto the DRS zone. Everybody's got DRS except GDBO as Joram looks to the outside of Matt, can't get it done, tucks in behind. And I thought Brown Recluse for a second there was going to go for a move on Joram, but in the end thinks better of trying to capitalise on Joram's little moment of weakness. As GDBO continues to hold on just ahead of Matahimovic for 2nd place, but this is a train of cars and it's developing into a pretty fascinating fight here at the front. Penguin Dude has dropped behind Evans. Evans is up into 6th. Penguin Dude's going backwards here in this race, as this is still the fight for 2nd place. Matahimovic looks like he got a little bit of wheel coming out the corner, got away with it though, and he's still holding on just ahead of Jalram. In the meantime though, Green Pies has checked out at the front. He's got a 5.5 second gap here over GDPO. He's got this one completely under control at the moment, has Green Pies. He has been completely and utterly running away with this one. GDBO, Matahimovic, Jalram, Brown Recluse all still fighting it out, as we saw Brown Recluse having a little look to the inside of GDBO's into the wall. He's out of the race, and how is that not a safety car? I will never know. We've got a virtual safety car. Wow. DJ Phil's been disqualified from the race for parking the car in a dangerous location. So we're down to 9 drivers here at the moment, and Matahimovic now leads the race, with the race leader Green Pies pulling the trigger and deciding to come into the pits. Now this could get very tasty. Green Pies pretty much was just running away at the front. Now he's down to the mid pack. He's got some fresh sets of boots on. Is he going to be able to come back through the pack and try and come back at Matahimovic, Brown Recluse, Evans? Because if there's another safety car, then that will probably work into, it'll play into his hands. But Matahimovic, Brown Recluse, Evans, let's just quickly put up the data and see how long they've been on those tyres for. You see, they've been on the mediums for a fair bit, but they could probably go for another, I don't know, maybe 10 laps at a push, maybe. With this safety car, there's been a couple of safety cars. They haven't had to do not all of those laps have been racing laps, so we could be seeing Matt, Brown, Recluse and Evans going a little way into the race. Green Pies will have to pit again, so that is now going to be quite an interesting dynamic once we get into the later stages. If there's a safety car, say on lap 20 or so, I don't know, say for example, then that could definitely play into the hands of the guys ahead of Green Pies, because they'll also have to pit anyway. They might as well do it there and then. But Green Pies putting a fresh set of tyres on. He needed to. He's been on those mediums, or he had been on those mediums, but since the start of the race, GDBO's disconnected from the session. Oh no, he's out of the race. As Just Jose there reckons that drivers can go to the end on the hard tyres, and Joram's done exactly that there, especially Just Jose when you consider that a couple of those laps are going to be under safety car, so you're pretty much not going to gain any tyre loss whatsoever, tyre wear at all. So yeah, Joram's currently sat in P5. Got a few comments coming in. Rakim says, is this a good... Oh no, what's happened? Joram's gone into the wall. Did he lose part of his front wing there? He must have done, surely. Didn't look like it, but he really went clouting into that wall. Well, he's lucky it happened under safety car, and he's got about 16 seconds back to Kieran Argent, so he might be able to come in and get that done before Kieran Argent comes round. It's going to be pretty tight in that one. Rakim there saying, is this a good moment to announce the next season with... Oh yeah, we saw that one. These guys are driving F1 like it's BTCC, absolutely. It looks pretty aggressive out there right now. Just Jose obviously agreeing with Rakim's sentiments there, not happy with some of the driving out on track tonight. But Matahimovic still leading this race, and obviously with the VSC now being done, they're up and away once again, and he's got a 2.7 second gap at the moment over Brown Recluse. Brown McClue's though currently sat 1.3 seconds ahead of Evan, and Green Pies, having made that pit stop under the virtual safety car, now sat in 4th place. He is currently about 15 seconds off of the leader, MeltedDazzer, so he didn't lose as much time as he would have done. As DJ Phil has left the session, having been disqualified for parking his car in an unsafe part of the track to park your car in. So we're halfway through this race here at Singapore, and we're seeing Green Pies coming over the line. Sets the fastest lap of the race so far there at 1:39.4. However, we know that the track will get quicker and quicker as the race goes on, with the fuel loads going down and maybe some tyre changes at the end. If the drivers have got big enough gaps to the car behind, we may be seeing a few cracks at fastest lap. We know Green Pies loves a good old fastest lap. Just Jose in the comments saying Matt should go 5 more laps on those tyres and pit again for mediums. He should be good for the win, in my opinion. I think, yeah, he would definitely be in with a good shout at the win, because Green Pies is definitely going to have to come in again. So yeah, to be honest, I don't know why Green Pies didn't just put the hard tyres on. If he's going to pit at that point in the race, he might as well go to the end, because then he's pretty much got the win in the bag. But with putting the medium tyres on, what Green Pies has done is he's kind of put himself out of contention, because now MeltedDazzer has to pit again. They both have to pit again. They're on the same strategy. I mean, I'll just hear reports here that Unorthodox is closing up onto the back of Kieran Argent. These two to battle for 6th place in the Renault team, and Kieran Argent, oh, it's down there, gets a little bit wiggly onto the throttle there, put the loud pedal down a little bit over his LSD, but he's still stuck in behind Kieran Argent at the moment. These two having a great old scrap here for 6th spot. It's Kieran Argent quite a little bit wide there, a little bit offline ever so slightly, but kept it on the track for the time being. Gap at the front between MeltedDazzer and Brown McClue is 1.8 seconds, so Brown McClue is bringing that gap down. Both of these two on the same strategies. They both need to pit again, as does Evans, as does Green Pies, as does everybody in the, I would say, everyone in the top 6. Penguin Dude might get away with getting those mediums to the end, but he's going to be on an absolute knife's edge by the time we get to the end. Unorthodox can probably go to the end on those hard tyres. Joram still needs to pit. Rednat will still need to pit as well. I wonder though, is MeltedDazzer going to try and stretch this stint on the medium tyres till about lap 21 possibly? Maybe 22. If he does, he might be able to put a set of softs on for the end, which will give him the pace on Green Pies, and he'll be reeling him in like no one's business in the final stages. Or does he play it safe and put on a fresh set of the medium tyres and still have a pace advantage at the end, but not a pace advantage that will get him the win? It's going to be a tough decision now, because Green Pies, I'm running the numbers here, and I reckon Green Pies could possibly get to the end on those medium tyres if he's really careful and conservative on them. But then again, it's not going to be easy for him. Do you know what I'm thinking now? I'm thinking Green Pies might possibly go full out and try and catch it. Oh, Evans loses the car. He's lost his front wing there. Evans is stranded in the first sector there. We've got a yellow flag through sector 1. He gets it pointing in the right direction again. But wow, I thought that was potentially going to be a retirement there. I thought for a moment that he'd DNF, but somehow he's still going. It's just the front wing that he lost there. No other parts of the car went flying, so Evans is able to continue on his way. Oh, as he locks up massively there, coming into turn 5. Oh, look at that. He's all over the place now without that front wing. He's lost so much aero, and he's really struggling to get this Ferrari round. That was a big hefty whack into the wall. I was surprised actually that he didn't DNF. I thought that was going to be terminal damage, and you see there, he might as well have terminal damage. Look at that. That is almost undrivable, that thing at the moment. He cuts the inside of that corner. Who can blame him? Green Pie is currently sat in 3rd place at the moment. He's 7 seconds off of the leader, MeltedDazzer. And it looks to me like Green Pies is trying to conserve those medium tyres, because he's definitely not pushing as hard as we usually see Green Pies pushing. He's trying to preserve those tyres as much as he can. He's not pushing like the usual Green Pies that we're used to seeing here at Motive Racing in the F1 League. As Brown McCluse is coming into the pits to get those mediums changed, presumably putting on one more set of medium tyres, which will take him to the end of the race. MeltedDazzer still yet to pull the trigger and come in for his stop at this point, as Unorthodox is still all over the back of Kieran Argent in his fight for 6th place. But Dan's got a slight tyre disadvantage here. Now obviously Kieran Argent still needs to come into the pits to make another stop. Dan doesn't. So Dan might be a bit frustrated being stuck behind his teammate, but Kieran Argent, to be fair, under no obligation to let him past unless the Renault team bosses come on the radio saying, Kieran, you might want to let him through. But other than that, no issues here for the Renault team, and they're continuing on their way. Maybe Kieran's trying to go to the end on the mediums. But having said that, he's done 5 laps on them already. He'd have to go 18 laps altogether by the time we get to the end if he were to eke that tyre life out. So I don't think it's going to happen for him. As these two come on to lap 18, 14 laps to go for the 2 Renaults. It doesn't look like there's really any position changes going on between those two. Penguin Dude currently not too far off the back of Brown McCluse. As MeltedDazzer still leads this race by 5 seconds over Green Pies. Green Pies is now up into 2nd place, having seen Brown McCluse making that pit stop, and he's now pulling away from Penguin Dude a little bit, as you would expect him to, on fresh medium tyres. But really the battle for the win is between MeltedDazzer, Brown McCluse and Green Pies. And Green Pies has actually started to reel MeltedDazzer in a bit now. He's making the most of what is fresher rubber, maybe resigned to the fact that he needs to come into the pits again. So he just wants to take everything he can out of these tyres and get as close as MeltedDazzer as he can, and then bring the fight to him at the end of the race. Green Pies got a little bit unlucky in that it was pretty much his pit window when the safety car came out, which usually you'd say that if your pit window falls within the safety car, you'd call yourself quite lucky. But with Green Pies, it kind of came at a bad time because everybody else pitted during his pit window, so he kind of didn't really it was difficult, pretty much, for obvious reasons. You can kind of understand why it wouldn't have been what he would have ideally hoped for. But he's currently bringing it gap back down to MeltedDazzer now. 2.7 seconds separating those two. And Green Pies, I thought for a little while that he was going to try and save the tyres and get these mediums to the end, but it looks like he's now going full out, taking everything out of them that he can, and he's going to try and get the move done on MeltedDazzer on the track. He's going to try and out-race him instead of out-strategize him, and that's what we want to see. We want to see these guys going wheel to wheel, having great battles and fighting it out until the very end of the race. So the gap between the two leaders currently 1.7 seconds, and it is coming down. These two big rivals always taking chunks out of each other on Discord. Lots of words have been said, lots of insults exchanged, and it's always exciting to see these two going toe to toe on the track. MeltedDazzer on very worn out medium tyres. He'll be pretty much just waiting until his pit window, which will come in about a lap or two's time. And then once both of these two have come in, we're going to see more representative pace from both of them. We're going to see much more representative pace from MeltedDazzer, because obviously they'll be on equal tyres. He's done 6 more laps on these tyres as MeltedDazzer, so it's definitely going to be costing him a little bit at this point. That'll be why Green Pies is reeling him in at the rate that he is. MeltedDazzer hasn't had the cleanest of races this one. It's kind of been a little bit hit and miss. He's had a few little skirmishes, contacts with the barriers. Pardon me. But now the gap 0.4 of a second between these two. Matimovic has been lucky really in this race that the safety cars have come at the right time. It's kind of helped him to come back into the race, and right now he's very much showing that he's got the pace to be where he is. You know, it's not all down to luck. He needed a bit of luck to be where he is, but he's doing well to hold on to what he's got now that he's got it. But currently 12 laps into this stint. Lap 20 of 31. If I was Matt, I would have started to think about making a change onto a new set of boots. And here he is. He's just coming in now, actually. As I say that, he's bringing it into the pits. Green Pies comes around to take the lead. Now Green Pies on those 7-lap old medium tyres is going to want to do everything he can to try and get the jump on Matt. Matt is going to come out on a fresh set, so he should have a small advantage in terms of grip. But Green Pies was reeling him in because he was the one with the fresh tyres before that. As Matt is changing his front wing, that's going to lose him a little bit of time there in the pit box. He's off and away. He's lost about 5 seconds there with that change of the front wing. But does Green Pies have a little bit of damage on the front wing as well? Because if he does, then he will have to spend just that little extra 5 seconds in the pit box. I think having a pristine front wing is something that just doesn't really happen around this Singapore track, so I wouldn't be at all surprised if Green Pies does have to change that front wing. It's probably had a few little bits fall off at some point, and I suppose if we're going to find out in the next few laps whether or not Matimovic has done enough. But he's now 33 seconds behind Green Pies on the track. Pit lane's obviously quite long here at Singapore, so we won't read too much into that just yet. And we are half expecting Green Pies to need to make up a few changes to the front wing. And Matimovic, you can see now on fresh rubber, just gaining a few tenths on Green Pies coming through this lap so far. Now that he's got all the tread in the world that he wants on those tyres, it may help him out a little bit. I wonder though if Green Pies is going to try and go to the end in this race. Now you can see he's got 10 laps to go. He's done 8 laps on those medium tyres. He would have to do 18 laps all told by the time he gets to the end of the race. And I know he has been pushing on these as well. He has not been looking after them. He was gaining on Matimovic by quite a bit earlier on. He has taken some life out of these. He was pushing for a good 5 or 6 laps. So he's definitely going to have a task on his hands if he wants to get these tyres to the end. He's really going to have to nurse them around, and I think he's much safer to come in, get them changed, and try and do it that way, because he'll still come out ahead of Matimovic if he comes in now, that is. And it'll be, you know, he'll still have the ascendancy in the race, but it's going to be a fascinating strategic decision now from Green Pies as to what he does. I believe he's got a little bit of damage on the front wing, so he will have to get that changed in the pit stop. Doesn't leave you an option, unfortunately. Just Jose in the comments was suggesting that Matt should probably try and keep autonomous mediums until lap 23 and then change to the soft. But he hasn't gone for that. He's opted to play it safe and put the mediums on, and he's really pushing hard on these mediums now. You can see Matimovic has gained about 2 or 3 seconds on Green Pies just on this lap alone. Clearly the fresher rubber is helping him. I don't think Green Pies is going to have a hope in hell of getting these medium tyres to the end of the race. I know he's a guy who likes to be ambitious and really push himself, but I cannot see him getting these mediums until the end. He's definitely going to have to come in, that is for sure. As you see Matimovic coming under the tunnel, under the bridge even. Got 4 seconds back to Brown Recluse. It looks like Dan has got Evans all over him in this fight for 4th. And Evans running on the medium tyres, Dan on some worn out hards. Evans can go to the end on those mediums quite easily. Dan is going to have to be nursing those hards to the end. So I think Unorthodox, otherwise known as Dan, might have a task on his hand here if he wants to hold on to this 4th place. It's definitely not going to be easy for him, that is for sure. But Green Pies continuing to lead this race. He's got 28 seconds at the moment over MeltedDazzer. As we said before, it's the battle for the lead. Green Pies, I think, almost out of pit stop range now to MeltedDazzer. So if he wants to come into the pits and put some fresh set of boots on and play it safe, this is pretty much his last chance. The gap was 33 seconds when Matt came out of the pits. It's now down to 28. MeltedDazzer is gaining hand over fist on him on those fresher tyres. So Green Pies needs to make his decision now, pretty much. And I think he has chosen a struggle. Quite clearly he has chosen a race of struggles and pain to the end of this one, because he's staying out. He's going to try and win this one with the gap that he's got on what is going to be quite limited functionality. As we see MeltedDazzer currently running in second place at the moment. He's still closing the gap. You can see he's gained another 3 seconds on Green Pies just on that lap. He's going so much quicker on these fresh tyres. His tyres are always going to be 7 laps older than Green Pies. No matter how far Matt goes on these tyres, no matter how much life he takes out of these, they're always going to be that little bit fresher than Green Pies. And at this point, he's got the momentum, he's got the pace, and if he keeps gaining at this sort of rate, it's going to be extremely close, because Green Pies tyres are going to hit the cliff probably in about 5 laps time. At the moment, it's a steady game that MeltedDazzer is getting on him. It's around 2 or 3 seconds a lap. But once we get to maybe lap 15 or so on those tyres for Green Pies, which will be in 5 laps time, it's going to be so tricky for him. He's going to feel like he's driving on ice. So at the moment, it's advantage Green Pies, but that pendulum could swing so quickly, and all of a sudden Green Pies could be clinging on at the mercy of MeltedDazzer. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to say a big thank you to the 16 people currently watching us live on YouTube at the moment. If you like what you see, make sure you drop a like on this video, guys. We've got 16 watching, as I said, but only 10 likes. So if we can get this video to, let's say, 15 likes, let's go for a realistic target here. 15 likes, we can get it on the stream, guys. We'll be absolutely delighted with that. Also, if you're watching for the first time, tell your friends, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to get involved in the on-track action, then go to motiveracing.com. Sign yourselves up as drivers. Get involved in the Formula 1 leagues for next season, which are still yet to be announced. We've got Bethany Duffin in the comments, obviously wife of MeltedDazzer there, saying, come on, Matt. And I believe she's supporting Matt because Gary's not here tonight. So with the absence of Gary, she's getting behind her husband tonight, which is good to see. And Matt's driving a great job, actually, is Bethany. He's currently sat in second place. He's 25 seconds off of the lead of Green Pies, and he's looking good for the win if Green Pies continues to lose the amount of time that he is losing per lap, because Matt is on much fresher tyres and he's continuing to make the gains. So he needs to keep doing what he's doing. He needs to keep his head in the game, because Green Pies' tyres will wear off very quickly, being that he's done 11 laps on those tyres. Medium tyres have a tyre life of about 15 laps, and he's coming in. Oh, he's coming in. He has bitten the bullet. He said enough's enough, and he's bringing it into the pits. Green Pies will come out behind Matt, I think. The question is, how far behind him will he be? He's going to have fresher tyres now. It's now going to be advantage Green Pies. He's putting the softs on as well. Soft tyres for Green Pies. Where's Matt though? Matt's coming out of the final corner. Oh, it's going to be close. It's going to be very close. Has Green Pies done enough to stay ahead? No, he's not. MeltedDazzer will take the lead of the race, but Green Pies, with fresh, soft rubber on, will have an advantage in the closing laps of this race. This is serving up to be an absolute thriller now. MeltedDazzer has got the lead of the race by 3 seconds over Green Pies. Is it going to be enough? It's going to be an absolute onslaught from Green Pies at the end of this race. He's going to have probably about, I don't know, maybe about 8/10, maybe a second a lap over Matt. So Matt is going to have to get his elbows out. He's going to have to defend for his life if he wants to hold on for this race win. It's going to be a captivating end to this race. It's been drama from the start, and we're going to have the finish to it that I think we all wanted to see in terms of a good fight. But who is going to take the win? Matt and Green Pies, these two big rivals. Lots of words exchanged on the Discord. Always a bit of a Matt gets a little bit sideways there, keeps it out of the wall. I do not know how he managed to hold on to that. His car control absolutely on the limit, but driving it so precisely at this point. Green Pies trying to reel him in. These two always have a few words exchanged. We know that there's sometimes a bit of bad blood between them. Hopefully they keep it clean once they go wheel to wheel, because they will be going wheel to wheel very, very soon. Green Pies has already gained a second on Matt over the course of this lap. I just hope that Matt can give him a fight here, because we know it's difficult to overtake around this track. So Green Pies can have the pace, that's one thing, but is he going to be able to find his way past? That is a completely different. It's completely not. It's another thing entirely. So this is going to be absolutely thrilling to see as they're coming on to lap 27 of 31. 5 laps left to go. McIntyre still holding on ahead of Green Pies. It doesn't matter how much faster Green Pies is. If he can't find a part of the track to get past him on, he might as well be 30 seconds behind him. These two a little way ahead of McClues, who's best of the rest in a moment. Evans way back, half a lap behind the two leaders in 4th. You've got Penguin Dude, Unorthodox, Joram, Kieran Argent just coming out of the pits there in 8th place. Rednass down in 9th. Singapore always separates the men from the boys, doesn't it? But it's currently Matimovic still holding on ahead of Green Pies. These two have been the masters here at Singapore tonight, putting on a fantastic show. And Matt clinging on for dear life at this point, but doing really well in positioning his car in all the right places and not allowing any gaps to form. Going defensive every single corner. Every single corner he's going defensive, but you can't blame him. He's on worn out medium tyres compared to Green Pies' fresh option tyres, as he really pushes Green Pies out wide there. Oh my goodness, how is he going to be able to keep this up for another 4 laps? As Green Pies has got the inside, I think he's got to get the move done. Matt closes the door and forces Green Pies over the curb. How has he held on to that? I will never know how he's kept on to that. Such fine margins here between these two drivers, and Matimovic still holding on to the lead by the skin of his teeth. You could put a Rizzler paper between the wheels, no more than that. But at the moment Matimovic is still holding on for P1. Needs to make sure he gets good runs out onto the start-finish straight, otherwise he'll find himself a sitting duck for Green Pies. As Green Pies makes a move to the inside and Matt covers him off in the braking zone. Very late move to the inside there, possibly moving to the braking zone from Matimovic. Not that he's going to care one bit. No contact there was no contact as a result, and he holds on for the time being. But Green Pies looking to the outside coming into turn 3. No, he's not going to get that one done. These two still fighting it out as Matt gets a bit of a wiggle on. Gets a little bit of a wiggle. I think Green Pies is going to have him on the run up towards turn 5. But can Matt go for a move up the inside and return the favour? I don't think he can. Green Pies has got that one done, and I don't think Matt's going to be able to fight him back. He really put up a great fight there, did Matimovic. He did brilliantly to park his car in all the right places, but Green Pies has got the lead, and I think he's going to say see you later now, due to the fact that he's got such fresh tyres on, due to the fact that he's on the the red mark soft tyres. I think he's going to drive off, and that's going to be that. But I mean, you've got to take your hat off to Matimovic there. The fight that he put up, he was not lying down in that one, but there's nothing you can do at the end of the day. If you've got the medium tyres on and they're worn out compared to those softs, you don't stand a chance, pretty much. You don't stand a chance. It's not a fair fight. It's not a fair fight. So that's now Green Pies up into the lead, and I think that's going to be that. As we see lots and lots of time penalties being dished out tonight. Matimovic with a time penalty. Brown McClues also has picked up a time penalty. Penguin who's got a time penalty as well. Unorthodox has picked up a time penalty. Joram's got a time penalty. Argent's got a time penalty. Redness has got a time penalty. Time penalties galore once again. The only two drivers not to pick up time penalties are Evans and Green Pies. Just remember, guys, keep it within the track limits. Obey the rules, otherwise you get time penalties. As we see, Evans has kept his nose clean. He's been a very good boy tonight. and as such has no time penalty. But I feel pretty strung out now at the moment. There's not really many battles going on as such. I would have thought Green Pies would have pulled away a little bit more than he has. The gap's just under a second between the two leaders. So I'm surprised really that Matt's managed to cling on, but he's doing brilliantly at the moment, is MeltedDazzer. Green Pies were to make a mistake, maybe overcook it ever so slightly or go wide, abuse the runoff area a little bit, then we could be seeing a swap of the lead, that is for sure. But I think Green Pies will probably have this one under control now with 2.5 laps left to go here at Singapore. I think it's all done and dusted. There's no way that Green Pies is going to lose this lead now. Not a chance. Never, ever, ever. As Brown Recluse is currently running in the final podium spot and continuing to put space between himself and Evans. Losing time to the two leaders, Green Pies and MeltedDazzer. But he can be proud of his performance tonight. As Leon Fernie there has left the session. He retired from the race many laps ago, but he has now departed from the race lobby. Emo guy said he'd be here by 7:15. It's now 7 minutes past 8. So unfortunately, I've done this a bit of a long stretch in the commentary box by myself tonight. But hey, it's all part of it. It's all good fun. It's all good fun. Just Jose there saying in the comment section that it's still pretty close here between the leaders. It is just Jose, but also pointing out that Matt's got a 6 seconds worth of penalties, so regardless of how close he gets to Green Pies, he's probably not going to be able to pick up the win here. But he's still keeping up with him, to be fair. DJ Phil in the comments saying that he'll be racing McLaren next season. Oh, you better be quick to snap that up, DJ Phil. I'm sure there's going to be a race to get into that beautiful orange McLaren that Green Pies has got so many wins with this season. Certainly going to have to be Johnny on the spot when the car selections come out. So it looks like Unorthodox has closed up on Penguin Dude a little bit now. This is a fight for P5. Dan has been reeling him in for quite a few laps. He's on 2 lap younger tyres. But they're on the penultimate lap. Green Pies and MeltedDazzer are on the last lap. Keep half an eye on this battle as we're expecting the leaders to come round in any moment now. But let's have a quick little peek and see what these two are up to. It looks like at the moment Evans holding on. Sorry, Penguin Dude holding on even. Ahead of Unorthodox. Whereabouts is Green Pies? He is just coming out this long straight. Penguin Dude still holding on ahead of Unorthodox for that 5th position. As Penguin Dude gets a bit of a wiggle, but Dan's not able to capitalise. Has a little look to the inside. Penguin Dude holding off for the time being. As they're now coming out of the final corner. They're about to start the final lap here. And Penguin Dude, is he coming into the pits? I think he is, you know. What's he doing that for? Penguin Dude putting himself out of that fight with Dan. Dan is up into 5th. And we'll say thank you very much. But Green Pies is coming into the final section of this lap here at Singapore. qualified on the front row alongside Unorthodox on the medium tyres, led the early stages, had it under control by the looks of it. The safety car kind of messed him up a little bit because he had to come into the pits during that phase when everybody else also took advantage of the safety car and brought it in. But Green Pies is going to come out the last corner to take the win here at Singapore. He slows the car right down, thanks his McLaren team, and he had a great fight there with Matimich at the end. But Green Pies takes another win here in the Formula 1 Championship here at Motive Racing. It's his 7th win of the season. What a fantastic performance tonight from Green Pies. He's going to close the gap with, actually, he's going to take the championship lead back over just Jose. He's now going to have a 22 or 23 point lead depending on if he got fastest lap or not. But Green Pies is now the one with control in the championship standings. Matimich comes over to take second. Brown McClue's completed your podium. Evans is just coming through the final part of the lap now. He'll finish in 4th. Dan and Penguin Dude, the last drivers on the lead lap, will be coming around in a few moments time. But Green Pies has led most of the championship, has led the championship since Vietnam, and then briefly got headed by just Jose after last week at Italy. Just Jose led the championship by 3 points coming into this round, and Green Pies has just taken it straight back. He now goes into next week at Russia, Sochi, with a 22 point lead, and once again is the man to beat. What's just Jose going to have next week up his locker to try and respond to that? We'll have to wait and see. But ladies and gentlemen, make sure you join us next week for the Russian Grand Prix next Friday, 6:45 PM BST, that's UK time. Drop a like on this video to say thank you to all these drivers as well, because they've put in a fantastic show. It's not an easy track to drive as Singapore, as Evans has finished in 4th. Dan has had a bit of a moment. Oh, what's happened to Dan? He's got way out wide coming through the final corner. He crosses the line now in 5th. Penguin Dude is just coming into the final corner now, and he's going to finish in 6th place in that McLaren. Green Pies' teammate picking up some good points. 8 points for the McLaren team here. And that is that then, ladies and gentlemen, for round 16 of Motive Racing's Formula 1 World Championship. Green Pies is your winner. Joram picks up driver of the day, not quite sure why, but I would have to, personally, I'm going to have to give driver of the day to the race winner, Green Pies. I think he just did everything right. He had it up against him a little bit. The pit stops didn't really go the way he would have ideally hoped it to, with the safety car period falling when his scheduled pit stop was scheduled. So yeah, not ideal, but he definitely came back from that and did a great job. So hats off to him. Retakes his championship lead, goes into the race at Sochi with a 22 point lead. Massive well done to him. Well done to Matimich for putting up such a great fight at the end there. It really did give Green Pies a bit of a scare. I thought he might be able to hold on, but I think in the end the fresh soft rubber for Green Pies was just too much, and Matt's done a great job there to bring it home in P2. Brown McClue's completes your podium, but that is it then. That's your lot for tonight. Join us tomorrow night on Project Cars 2 for the GT3s and the Formula Renaults, and yeah, see you in the next one, guys. Have a great evening.